Hi, welcome to another episode of First Chapter Friday. My name is Lucy, and the book that I am going to be reading the first chapter of today is called Karthik Delivers, and this is by Sheela, Chari. And this is the story of Karthik. It takes place during 2009, during the recession, the financial recession, and it takes place in Boston. Karthik lives with his family there, and they own an Indian grocery. The summer before he begins high school, they ask him to start doing deliveries for their grocery. He doesn't get paid for this. He's just helping out. They are worried about the financial stability of their grocery store, and their store is struggling a little bit. So Karthik is really good at making lists and memorization. This is how he sort of categorizes everything that he sees and everybody that he meets and everything that he learns. It's in these lists in his head. And as he's making deliveries on his bike this summer, he begins to meet different people that he's delivering to, and he sort of helps them and befriends them. He brings the right mangoes to a woman who wants to make mango lassi. He helps a man who has a broken leg. And then he also meets a young woman named Shanti when he delivers something to her. And she is a playwright. She has just written a play about Leonard Bernstein, who wrote the music for West Side Story. And she is so impressed with Karthik's memorization skills that she feels he would be perfect for the role of Lenny in her play. So the star role in this one-act play. And Karthik's a little bit interested. He thinks this is something I might be good at. But he can't tell his parents. His parents want him to be a doctor. They want him to be successful. And that is the way that they imagine that will happen. So the summer unfolds where Karthik has this one set of activities going on that his family doesn't know about, and then all these deliveries for his family. And in both of those worlds, he is navigating different relationships, friendship and family, and also learning how to communicate with all the people around him. This book is really about family and friendship and building community. It's also about the importance of art and the importance of finding the things that you want to do and being true to yourself. So this is the first chapter of Karthik Delivers. Chapter 1. I'm good at remembering things. Birthdays, driving directions, ice cream flavors, words to movies, the smell of shampoo, the scratchy grass I landed on when Jacob Donnell and Hoodie Menendez pulled down my pants in second grade. When I first started working at the store this summer, Dad would write down everything for me. But now he just tells me the orders and I remember. That's because I keep lists in my head. Once it's on a list, it stays there. This morning, Dad helps me load the groceries onto the back of the bike. First, the 10-pound rice bag and the packages of multigrain flour. Then the light stuff like spicy chips and boxed frozen dinners. Watch the road, come back quickly, he says as I strap on my helmet, and don't get distracted. Which is what he always says. So I run through Carmine's 50 flavors of ice cream in my head, a trick I've learned when I don't want to listen to him. It's hot and humid outside, and I can hear the bike's gears grinding as I pedal down Com Ave. Com Ave runs through Allston all the way to Boston, and it's short for Commonwealth Avenue. But the only people who say the whole name are from out of town, like my aunt and uncle from San Diego. Carmine's Ice Cream Parlor is also on Com Ave, a few blocks from the store, and by the time I get there after my deliveries, I'm like the Niagara Falls of perspiration. Miles is already in a booth with Ben, eating a double Sloopy Gloopy on a cone while Ben draws in his notebook. Miles, short, glasses, crossword, sees me and says, "You look like you have a wedgie." I'm about to glare, but actually, that bike is always giving me one. A customer from our store is sitting in the booth behind my friends. She nods at me as I sit down, so I kind of nod back too. I don't really know her, but I've talked to her a couple of times. I think she goes to BU because she carries a backpack with the college logo on it. Once she made me list all the different kinds of pickles we carry in the store. 17, if anyone wants to know. For some reason, she got a kick out of that. I slide in next to Ben, clean fingernails, mechanical pencil, who's drawing a delivery boy on a bicycle. Only he isn't delivering food. He's delivering brains on a stick. Ben's idea of sci-fi. "What'd you get?" he asks me. He smooths his paper with 2 fingers. Ben moved here from Queens, and before that he lived in Vietnam. His family, the Phams, own the Saigon Rose on Harvard Ave. "Caramel swirl," I tell him. "He always gets that," Miles says, even though he's memorized all the flavors. I take a bite, letting the caramel melt slowly in my mouth. "I like caramel swirl," I say. "What's wrong with that?" "You like a bowl too," Ben observes. "More ice cream that way." That's what's nice about him. Ben always sees the good, even with a bowl of ice cream. Miles grins. Nah, he's worried he'll spill on himself if he eats a cone, and his dad will know he stopped for ice cream. Then there's Miles, who finds a rain cloud with every silver lining. I watch Ben add shadows to the delivery boy. "Where'd he get the brain?" I ask. "This is an extra brain," Ben explains. "He's a space alien in love with an Earth girl. He's giving the extra brain to her." "Ew," Miles says. Ben grins. Love is strange. When he isn't out delivering food, Ben draws. I wish I could be like him, that I could be good at something. The only thing I can do is remember stuff. But what can you do with that? It's not like drawing or throwing a baseball. "Do you really know all 50 flavors?" Ben asks me. I want to hear them. "Sure," I say. Appalachian apple, ambrosia, banana cream, caramel swirl, chocolate banana. I get to death by chocolate when Miles holds out his hand. "Stop," he says. Next, he'll be telling us the periodic table. Ben laughs. "That's really good, Karthik. Alphabetical order, too." "Thanks," I say. Now you know to call if you're having an ice cream emergency. I'm halfway through my bowl when my phone rings. "You delivered Miss Carmichael's groceries?" Dad asks. "On my way," I lie. If I tell him I did it already, I'll have to go back to the store right away. Ask her if multigrain flour's okay. We're out of whole wheat. I slurp quietly on my ice cream. "Yep." After I hang up, Miles says, "What does he think you'll do? Run away with the groceries?" I shrug. Miles thinks my dad calls too much. His parents never call him, even when he was locked out of his apartment for an hour by his brother Spencer. Our families are different, but our summers are different too. One day, Miles and I were hanging out on BU Bridge counting out-of-town license plates, and the next day I'm hauling rice bags for my dad. I haven't told Miles why. I haven't told him the store is in trouble. It isn't the stuff you tell your best friend. I mean, we don't even talk about girls. "No, Karthik is a very responsible delivery boy," Ben says, grinning. "But why does he have to deliver groceries?" Miles persists. "It's not like you delivering takeout, Ben." "It is done in New York City," Ben says. "I know. We used to live there. Customers, they like it. They think it is convenient." Miles crunches on his cone. "I guess. But can't people just carry their groceries home? That's what we do. Seems like a lot of work for one person on a bike, if you ask me." It was either that or studying cell mitosis, I say, which is partly true. My mom had a book all ready for me until Dad announced the plan. The door to Carmine's opens, and in walks Jacob Donnell, Hoodie Menendez, Sarah Rimsky, and Juhi Shah. I try not to stare as they go up to the counter. Jacob and Hoodie order first, while Juhi studies the ice cream under the glass. If she notices me, she doesn't act like it. The only time she talks to me is when she comes to the grocery store with her mom. She considers, flipping back her super straight hair. Chocolate banana or caramel swirl? Jacob, tall, Red Sox cap, leans against the counter next to her, eating his black cherry ice cream. "I hate banana," he says, which is probably the only thing he and I agree on. In second grade, Jacob sat next to me at lunch and shared a bag of chips with me. In second grade, that meant you were friends. Then at recess, Jacob and Hoodie pulled down my pants in front of everyone. And okay, it was second grade, and Jacob did this to everyone, but he didn't make them think he was their first friend. Miles O'Grady moved to Alston in third grade. Life got better after that. Miles knew everything about Boston history, like where all the major battles were fought, what kind of bayonets the colonialists used, what they ate, where they peed. It could have been totally boring, except Miles made history sound cool. At recess, we would think up stories about Martians colonizing New England, But then Jacob had gone from de-pantsing certain people, me, to beating them up. So Miles and I devised all these ways of walking home that involved not running into Jacob. Let's just say we got to know Alston really well. Dude, Miles says to me now, your ice cream, it's dripping all over your shirt. Your father will find you out now, Ben says. I look down and wipe the dribbles off with a napkin. So what, I say. Meanwhile, I'm straining to hear Juhi. I don't know why I care what she orders. My cell phone rings again. Done, I say to my dad. Karthik, come quickly and don't stop for ice cream, he adds. I get up to throw away my cup. I think of what I should say to Juhi, like, caramel swirl is my favorite. Friendly. Did you know Carmen has 50 flavors? Nerdy. Remember when we ate ice cream at my dad's store when we were little? Nostalgic. But I know I won't say a word because I'm used to being invisible. I'm at the trash can when Sarah, ponytail, stick up her butt, whines, hurry up, Juhi, we'll be late. I wonder where they're going. Jacob and Hoodie are busy snarfing their ice cream cones while Sarah hasn't ordered anything. So she's standing with her arms crossed like an uptight cop. Hey, we can go save seats, Jacob offers. Hoodie and I'll meet you there. Yeah, Hoodie says. Thanks, Sarah says. That's super nice. Sorry I'm so indecisive, Juhi says to Jacob. He smiles at her. He was already tall, but this summer he has had a growth spurt, and now he's a good 3 inches taller than everyone, which I hate. You should get Rocky Road, like me and Hoodie did, he says. Oh my God, you're right, she says, like he's cleared up some huge mystery for her. Come on, let's go, man, says Hoodie. At the door, Jacob and Hoodie see me. I wonder if I should have hid behind the trash. It's Car Dick, Jacob announces with his same annoying smile. Hoodie jabs him in the arm. What do you call your car when it won't work? What do you call someone who drives like crap? Jacob answers, snickering. I've heard these pathetic jokes before, but it never stops Jacob and Hoodie from telling them over and over. I see them laughing outside as they walk away with their ice cream cones. You're really taking forever, Juice, Sarah says meanwhile. I wait at the trash can, wondering what Juhi will pick. Will she get Rocky Road, like Jacob told her to, or something else? Really, I don't know why I care. It's so hard choosing, Juhi says. They have 10 flavors of chocolate. Actually, 11, I say before I can stop myself. From the booth, I see Miles groan. Juhi turns to me, surprised. No, 10, she says. She counts on her fingers. Chocolate chip, peanut butter chocolate, chocolate banana, mint chocolate, strawberry chocolate, death by chocolate, white chocolate supreme, Marigo chocolate, Mexican chocolate, and chocolate surprise. She holds up 10 fingers. You forgot everything, I say. Darn, you're right. Then we both stare at each other. The girl behind the counter starts laughing. I guess we have some ice cream experts here. Sarah Rimsky is not amused. Freaks, she says in her stick-up-her-butt way. I don't care. Juhi settles on an everything cone. Ha! And on her way out, she eyes me curiously, as if she notices for the first time that I exist somewhere other than the grocery store. Back at my booth, Miles gives me a look. What, I ask? She did forget everything. Juhi Shah in 7 parts. Hair ends, line up. Butterfly buttons, 1st grade. Favorite candy, licorice. Righto. 3 shades of pink sweaters, 5th grade. Writes poems when she thinks no one is watching. English class. Good at remembering? Like me. And that is the end of Chapter 1 of Karthik Delivers. That chapter gives you a little bit of the sense of Karthik's voice and the way he thinks. He's a great character. He's funny. He's self-deprecating. He's very smart. He's great at memorizing things. And he has these 2 really good friends, Miles and Ben. And he has a crush on Juhi Shah. So that's where the book begins. If that sounds intriguing to you, I hope you continue with it. Thanks for joining me.